Hello, you are welcome to Crystal Data Concepts, and of course, this is the pinnacle of our teaching when it comes to data science. It is known as machine learning through the use of Python. Machine learning through the use of Python. When you look at the trajectory of the world today, you discover that a lot of emphasis has shifted to the importance of data and data manipulation and how it can be used to make important business decisions for stakeholders, for business establishment, even for company, internal use and external. It has become that important that it is no more overlooked. In the list of best paying jobs today, data science and data analytics ranks among the best because of this singular capability. Now, we have been taught of how to use Tableau, how to use Power BI, how to use Excel to bring insight, and also how to use the structured query language to actually query data and bring out results. Now we are looking at a different dimension, and that is the use of Python to query our data and bring out powerful insight which can be used for business decision. So you cannot actually do machine learning in the absence of an important tool called Python. Now Python is also rivaled by another tool that is called R. R is another important tool, but over the years many people have started using Python and Python has become acclaimed. Therefore, because of it, the need for you to learn Python has become very, very great. There are other people that use SAS, SAS base too can be used, but it is becoming unpopular while Python has become more popular than ever. Reasons are that it has a human language. It is almost interpreted as a human language when you are using Python. It doesn't involve too much coding, and that gives it an edge over other programming language. So the first thing is for you to install the Python program through the Anaconda, which I have sent, and with the instruction. If that has been done, now the next thing is that how do you now open up this platform for use, which is another important thing that you must be able to do, because if you don't open the platform, that means we are not yet in business. So there are many ways in which you can do that. Now, because of that, I would like to go to my file to teach you how you can be able to do that. When I go to my file, no, not here, I go to my Windows opener where we have pinned and recommended tools, and I go for the one that are pinned for all apps. When I go to all apps, it is arranged in alphabetical order, and when you come here you can see Access, Acrobat Reader, Adobe Audition. It may not be the same with your own, and you can see Anaconda. So this is the place of the interest which I want you to focus on. It is also in your system if you have installed Anaconda and Python in particular. This is 64 bytes because my laptop system is 64 bytes in nature. So when you excuse me, when you open up the drop down, you see that it has Anaconda Navigator, Anaconda PowerShell prompt, Anaconda prompt, Jupyter Notebook, Reset, Spider setting, Spider. All these can be used for Python engagement, but this is always problematic, but you can use it to enter into the community, so you may not use this Anaconda Navigator, but any of these And this one is spider. Spider is another form of Python use, which is not so popular, so I may not go to this. Where I want you to look at is Anaconda share prompt, Anaconda prompt, and Jupyter Notebook. Now, when you want to open Jupyter Notebook, you just simply click on, you see the sign. This is the sign of Jupyter Notebook. You see something like a half moon facing each other with 3 stars, 3 dots, just like this. So when you just click on the Jupyter Notebook, it will open up an interface. It will gradually open it up, and from there it will open up the notebook for you. And so when the notebook has been opened, just like normal file will have, but this file is different because its work is only to read Python scripts. Now when you look at it, you see you have file, we have running, we have cluster, select item to perform action on them, then you have quit and log out. Assuming you are tired, you are no more interested, you are moving away, you quit. That means you are leaving everything complete. Log out is that you are still in system, but you can always come back to log in. Now you can upload your file here. You can this new, you can click on it to see what is inside. New, it can be either your Python shell or text file folder and terminal. This is what is found in new. This is for refresh of your work. Now when you look down, all these are under files. That is what you are seeing here. When you come to running, that means what file is running at the moment. Assuming you are running many files and you want to actually know which one it is being used at that particular point in time, you click on it. You see, say there is no terminal running, there is no notebook running. Now this for clusters. Cluster tab is now provided by iPhone Parallel for installation. This is a new development. So we'll go back to our file. Then when you look up, see there's update, read the migration plan to notebook 7. So notebook has moved from 3 point something to 7. To learn about the new feature of the action, it takes you extra extension and the rest. But we're not interested in this now. It is not helping us. So we'll just focus on what we are doing here. So when you look at inside our file, you see 50 million query, Agora work, Anaconda. These are arranged in alphabetical order, but all these are not Python file. You can see the type of file they are. They are not Python file. It cannot be used in Python environment. That is what it's telling you. So when I click on my cursor and continue to come down, I will find a file that is definitely Python file because I have been working or have worked on Python before. Now as I go down, you can see that I have Python file. This is diabetes, this is Jude, this is K-Min, Miller. All these files you can see. Remember we say it's Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook, and see just like a notebook. So assuming you want to see anything on this, but let's still go down to see. Only thing you see here that is in this form is what Python can work with. This is what Python can work with. So other ones there, it's a different kind of file, but they are not usable here. So that is how Python notebooks works. Now I may not open this yet. I want to try other. Note that the file or the work you did or you are doing in this particular page from where we open is only secured for this page. So if you have about different Python environment in your laptop, they are concerned with what you have opened them. That means they are not connected. That is what it's telling us. So I can close this so that you can also see another tab, or I can come here and click. Now let me just go back again here and click on this and go to the app again and see if we can use another aspect of Anaconda. So this Anaconda prompt, this is the one we open now. This is the part we opened. So let's go to Anaconda prompt and open it and see how it looks like. Now this is Anaconda prompt. Now this Anaconda prompt now is unlike the other one that just opened on its own. This you have, it's just like a back end. You have to feed it yourself. Now this is this location where my Anaconda is placed. So what do? I come here and I write CD desktop and enter. You see CD desktop. It has now opened it into the desktop environment. So the next thing I'll write is Jupyter Notebook. Remember, the first thing I wrote was CD desktop, and the next thing I wrote is Jupyter Notebook, and I click enter. Now when I click enter, you see that the environment will open. So this one has opened, and mind you, this is different from this. They are all alike, but they have different endpoints. So whatever you are doing in the first one will have nothing to do with the second one. Whatever you are doing in the second one will have nothing to do with the first one. Please have that at the back of your mind. So any of these, you can use it to open your Jupyter notebook, and it will still go back to the same set of files that you have, and you can see them. But depending on the file that you saved, not the same set of files, sorry, on this file that you have saved. Now when you look at this critically, you see that I only have one Jupyter notebook here that was saved under this environment, and it was done about 10 months ago, and the size is 12.1 KB. And when I go to this, you see that I have many files, some of them a year ago, 8 months ago, a month ago, as the case may be. So this is how it is. So for instance, I want to look at one just for the sake of how it looks like when you have a Jupyter file. So we come here and we click on just the file. When you click on the file, your notebook will open properly, so that I can be able to use it to explain what the notebook is all about. Now this is a file, and a typical Jupyter notebook looks like this. We have Jupyter, the name of the file is Diabetes 1 by Jude Ilobolu. The last time it was checked was this. Remember, it is auto save. It is auto saves. Now you have the file. This is the file. What do you call it now? The icon, the file icon, where we can keep our work. When you click on the file icon, you see new notebook, Python 3 kernel, or you want to open a new one, you want to make a copy or save, or you want to rename this work. You can do it here. You can do a lot of things. You can download it. The work you have done, you can actually download it as document, HTML, LaTeX, Markdown, Notebook. You can do even as PDF or Python PyChart. This is the format in which it is possible for you to do what? To download your work. Now, the environment you're working with need you to trust the work or not. If the work is trusted, you can have a lot of cooperation. If not, you may give you problem. So you may close and you halt your work. These are all done under the file environment. Now for the edit, you can cut your cell with just X. You can copy your cell with C, which is Ctrl C, Ctrl S. You can paste. Now you see these ones you cannot be able to do it now. That's why he's giving you this. This can be done now. So you paste your cell above and you can delete your cell. So this sign is what you can use to do this work. You can merge cell above and you can merge the one below, among others, is what you can do with your cell. Then you can view with toggle head, toggle toolbar, amongst many. You can also insert cell on above by A, or you can insert cell below. Now you can also run your work through cell. You can select work, all the cells, you can run everything. You can run work below a particular line. Maybe you need to run again to be sure that those lines are well run. You can do that. You can run above, you can run below, you can run above, you can run all above and below and the rest. So these are what you can do. Say cell type. It can either be a cell, a code. When it is a code, that means you are performing Python operation on that particular line of code. Markdown means that you don't want it, is just a write-up. It is not part of the code. So when you put it as markdown, the system will not see it as a code, so it will bypass it. Or it can also come as raw MB convert. Just the way it is written, that is how it will come out. It will not be run as a code. Now current output, you can see your current output. You can do a lot of things. You can also see all the output. So for the kernel, you can interrupt kernel. Kernel is just like this environment you are working now. You can regard it as a kernel. You can either interrupt it as you are working with it. You can restart it to refreshing it sometimes, because Python runs a lot of lines of code. It may get excited, so it will not be able to work very well. So you can restart your work. You can restart and clear all your output. You can restart and run all your code at the same time. You can record or shut down, or you can even change your kernel if the case warrants. Then we have the widget, and we have help in case you need help. It is always possible for you to get help through this, amongst others. So this is it for Python. Now when you come down to the next line of this, you can see that we have save. You can see that we have save. So you can save your work here. Now this line, this plus sign, the Python line of code, let me show you. These are Python line of code. You can actually add to it if you so wish. So adding to it means you click on the plus and it will increase this size. Like now the line of code is on this and it's showing me markdown, as I told you, so the system will not see it as a code. And I want to add more what do you call it now, new lines of code here. I can come to this place and just click on plus. As I clicking on plus, you see that you give you a new line of code. And this line of code, you don't want them, you come to this X and cut it off again. You come again here, click on X, it will cut it off. Click on S, it will bring you back to where it was. You can also duplicate your work here, copy your cell. You can paste it here. You can go up, move your selected cell up, or you can bring it down. Now when you have written a line of code, this is where you can be able to run that code. So when you run the code, it will be able to give an output. So running a code talks about giving an input, and when you give an input, the next thing you expect is a corresponding output. So the running of code is done here. You can also interrupt the kernel even as it's running. Maybe sometimes the kernel will become slow. On some occasions, you can play a code to run, and it may take up to 20 minutes for one code to run, depending on what the system is interfacing. And then it is becoming too slow. You can interrupt it, maybe to continue another day, or you want to do something else. You can do that here. So here you can restart your kernel. Anytime you are working, and it seems to becoming excited, too slow, you can also restart your kernel and start afresh. So here you can restart the kernel by using the code given, rerun the whole notebook. So for here, this is what determines each line of code. Now this particular line of code now is a markdown. This is a markdown. If it's right up, you can do it under the markdown environment. But when I click on this, you see that it has changed to code, telling that this place now is a code. This is where the system can run and get an answer. That is why it is a code. When you open this, you see that you have a code, you have markdown, you have raw MB convert, and you have heading. What is heading? This is heading, for instance. This is a heading, but it's appearing as markdown here. Wondering why is it appearing as markdown here. Let's see this one. Okay, it's still appearing as markdown, but it's a heading, because we'll go through a process to get that heading to operate. So when you go to the internet too, you can also add some other manipulations, some modifications, some beautification that you can use to interface with Python and the Python notebook, Jupyter notebook. Now, another thing you should know is that this is not the only platform in which Python can be run. It is not only in Anaconda that Python can be run. It is also not only in Jupyter notebook that you can write Python script. Python script can be written in Python shell. It can be written in Spider, amongst others. Do not be amazed that we are hearing different kind of animalistic language. That is how data science has come to be, just like a memory of remembering all these animals, because we know they are getting extinct. So you can hear about Python, you can hear of Anaconda, you hear about what do you call it now? There are lots of them. So that is it about Python and its environment. So I will not be going much into this one for now, because I needed to get further basis of how Python environment works. Then we can now go ahead to begin to solve Python problem. But for the sake of introduction, you can be seeing some of this visualization and this coding is a part of what we are going to do at data science. You know what we put in and why we put what we are putting in, and the result that is giving us, and the meaning of those results. Like this data now is about diabetes. There is a reason for it. So those reasons is what we are going to see, interpret, and understand, then apply. So this correlation, if you are going to scaling of work, we know why we scale a work amongst many. But we are going to start it one step at a time until we're able to get to the end. Today, my first duty was just to, first of all, assuming that you have installed your Python environment using Anaconda application and it is working in your system, I have been able to teach you how to use the same Anaconda that has been installed, going through the installed packages. We can go direct through the Jupyter Notebook direct, and we'll click on it and it will bring us to the Python environment, or we can go through the backend using the prompt and using what is called CD desktop and Jupyter Notebook to bring us into the environment. And I told you that whatever you follow, whether you are following the back end, it will lead you to a shell, but whatever you are saving will remain where you opened. If you have opened the prompt, your work will not leave prompt and you see it in the Jupyter Notebook that was opened direct. And if you have used Jupyter Notebook that you have opened direct, your work will not be found in the Jupyter prompt. I hope this has helped you today. We'll be starting properly by next week. So have this, digest it, and may the spirit of understanding be with you. God bless and thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.